Hello, Gemini. Welcome into your new moon in Aquarius reading. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are a Gemini rising, sun, or moon, this is a reading for you. And if this reading has popped up in your feed and it's drawn you in, that means there's likely a message here for you. Hello and welcome. My name is Lauren the Mystic, and I am a mindfulness and energy healing coach that loves to bring divination to you to empower your own personal journey and your soul growth at this time. And we are pulling some oracle messages here today. So Spirit, show me Gemini's energy. What messages do you have for our Gemini collective today from this Earth Magic deck? This is by Stephen Farmer. And we're just pulling any messages, giving it one more pass. Okay. Oop, those two came out. All right, and now Gemini, let us get some of your Starseed Oracle cards. This is from Rebecca Farmer, tuning into Gemini's Please Spirit. Show me Gemini's energy. What is their soul growth message right now? What do they need to know about what's unfolding in their life? So Gemini, I am going to drop a link below for you. If you don't already have a copy of your natal chart, I highly recommend you get one and you tune into the house of Aquarius and where that falls in your own natal chart. That will vary depending on what your Gemini placements are. Okay, thank you, Spirit. So I definitely believe that there is meaning to the uprights, meaning to those that fell out in reverse. So we will take these and take a look at, what is underneath your energy. But let us tune into some angel tarot messages. Show me Gemini's energy right now, please, Spirit. Gemini's current energy. Show me Gemini's recent past. Show me Gemini's recent past, please, Spirit. Where did Gemini just move from? Show me Gemini's recent past energetically. Oop, that fell all the way to the floor. Give me a moment, please, Gemini, as I retrieve that. All right. Show me Gemini's current energy, please, Spirit. All right. Got several cards coming out at once. Maybe a lot going on there with Jupiter in your sign. And show me the future seated potential. Okay. And what energies underlie all of this story, this message that you've got for us today, Spirit? Show us the energies underneath. Show us what is in the dark. This definitely wanted to come out. We'll see if anything else wants to. Show us what is underlying these energies for our Geminis as I get tongue-tied and twisted. So thank you for all of you returning back to this channel. I will timestamp this if you want to just skip ahead. I'm going to do one more pass just to make sure we've got all messages Spirit wanted you to see right now. Is there anything else, Spirit? Anything else today? All right, thank you. Okay, darling Geminis. And if you haven't already, I would be ever so grateful if you liked and subscribed to the channel. It really helps me to tune into you and your energies better. It helps me to support my channel and the growth, which helps me show up here for you. So let's get into it, darlings. All right. Well, if you have been tuning in, if you're a returning visitor, you'll know we've been unpacking some pretty significant energy check-ins for you. There's been a major process underway. Jupiter being in your sign is really expanding the soul growth process that you're going through. And so if this is your rising, if Gemini is your rising sign, this is really affecting your sense of self, your sense of individuation, how you're showing up in the world. And this could really be shifting your life in a massive way, right? And so the first card out we have is Weight of the World. Not shocked to see that. This is, again, you're still in process, I believe, Gemini, as we show up today. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to unpack this message from the standpoint of how can you empower yourself right now? How can you look and see clearly with some clarity of what might be showing up for you and why? Again, call in your own intuition, call in your own knowingness to guide you on how to apply these messages most specifically to your own story. But this is hopefully going to help you really set some powerful intentions. This new moon coincides with the Chinese New Year, and there is so much potent energy in Aquarius, a very expansive sign, a very revolutionary sign, a sign that is fixed air energy and able to really think from a very wise perspective. And I feel like with Jupiter there and the double-bodied nature of your own sign being ruled by Mercury, you know, your ruler is getting ready to conjunct Pluto just after this new moon. So there's going to be some big aha moments. Shortly thereafter, Uranus is going to be stationing direct in Taurus. So look to Taurus in your chart as well, because these areas of your life, the houses that they govern, it's going to point you more specifically into the topics that might really be highlighted, that might really be in focus. But you're going to know this is going to be energy flowing into your awareness. So back to your reading, the weight of the world is really about your own energetic boundaries, recognizing that there are still things that you have been carrying with you that are impacting you in a negative way. It's dragging you down. You're absorbing the energy of others as your own story. And so this is a nudge from Spirit saying it's time for you to let it go. It's no longer yours to carry. It's not your responsibility. What you need to worry about is your own boundaries, what you need to feel safe, to feel protected, Gemini. Then we've got, oh, interesting, Messenger. What a beautiful card for you to receive, Gemini. This is serious energy, bringing harmony, bringing balance into some kind of situation. I'm feeling like this is entirely connected to what I was literally just telling you about. As I pull the cards, I don't really read them until we read them together. So I didn't notice the said messenger. I did see this card, but I didn't see the messenger. And I really think, again, it's going to be in relationship to these transits when Mercury conjoins Pluto and then moves ahead fastly. It's going to catch up to the sun. Mercury's faster than the sun. So the sun just had its own conjunction with Pluto, its own Cazimi moment. Now Mercury is going to have that. And Mercury, being the messenger, is going to then deliver more of that transformative, revolutionary insight into the sun when it makes contact. So expect basically that you are going to get awareness from within. Okay. We've got both the whale and orca elders along with weight. So there's something that's being prepared for you here, Gemini, but it's not quite yet time. Things are still being woven in the background. Things are still being orchestrated on your behalf, is what I just heard. The whale and orca elders is about continuing to do that deep emotional work. Continue to do the deep dive. Go into the depths of your waters. Allow yourself to purge what's not coming with you, to really get clear on what is traveling with you and what is not. Those are your boundaries. This could be in relationship. Again, you might look to the house areas of your life, but you'll have a sense of what's really coming up for you. And so this could be a time where you're literally, Gemini, choosing to sit down, use your mental energy, use all of this air energy that's so heightened and intense right now. Maybe you start making a list. Maybe you make a list of your boundaries in different domains of your life. What is true for you now? What have you learned and grown? What do you know is no longer something you're bringing forward with you? And then you create that as an affirmation and speak it into existence. The whale and orca elders also talks about sharing your energies, sharing the frequency of your sound, your song, your story. That's a very powerful place. We've got your Earth Magic card, Autumnal Equinox, again about release. This is about the harvest of things having an emotional harvesting point, and then it's time to then release that harvest, compost anything from that garden that is no longer viable material. It's no longer, again, traveling with you into this new version, whatever is taking form and taking shape. Now, Cloud, Shapeshifter, you got this card not that long ago. This is about how you, within your own ability, that you have the ability to change your composition, to shift your shape, to show up as a different version of yourself. This is about sometimes the need to adjust uh, ourselves, but really it's an alchemical. We're not doing that to people please, right? We're doing this for ourselves. So if you are shape shifting and adjusting your energy, you're doing that so that it is going to then nourish you, not as a result of someone else's discomfort, right? That you might be carrying. But this is talking about how this is like your superpower right now. This is really assisting you as an ally, is your own ability to be malleable, to be able to take on two forms, right? To take on more than one form. Then you've also got the card Lake Stillness. And this is really about finding that inner peace, that serenity. Again, spending time with self, doing that deep diving work. When there's that pausing moment that you're waiting, you're ready for something to change, but it's still time to really get clear and be sitting in a place of nourishing yourself, tending to yourself. Okay? And that is definitely the case because the cards that came out upside down really represent some of our unconscious space, some of the space that we're not really sure what's going on underneath the soul growth, but we know and we feel it. It's just not necessarily within our conscious awareness. And that's how these cards upside down have really been coming through, as just something that's fueling the growth that we're not necessarily aware of. And so Spirit is showing you here, this is really a time for you to water your garden. This is about self-care. You've been through a lot recently, Geminis. So it's time for you to nourish your body, to rest again, to apply compassion, to apply tenderness to yourself. to really tend to your own garden. And this is double mission, which is really a card showing you that there's been something deeper going on behind the scenes that you weren't aware of, that's been within your soul's mission, growth work, desire to experience, if you will. This can show up when you are being called to some form of healing work, when you're being called to serve a greater purpose. This can also show up, but it can show you also at a very mundane level if that's not the case, if you're not feeling this big call to step forward right now, and do some type of double mission, right? A soul mission. This can just on its face be speaking to there was a deeper soul purpose behind a difficult experience you might have just moved through. So Gemini, the ego energy is, and don't, I know we don't love the word ego, but this is how your energy is showing up right now. What this card's talking about, though, is a false sense of entrapment. So as far as ego cards go, I have a couple card decks that have an ego card in them. This is the most pleasant version. This is really about not only moving from a place of being overly focused on the material, but it's really speaking to this sense of entrapment. So sometimes the entrapment can come when we are too focused on the material aspects of life, of what we're doing, of our money, of our job, and we're not necessarily spending that quality time with our relationships, which is what truly is going to be what matters as part of our energetic legacy. Sure, what we do in the world is very important. The legacy that we're able to create financially can also be very important, but it's not the most important thing. And this card is just reminding you that your focus is really on what truly you want your legacy to be. And so letting go of any over attachment to the material world, to being overly maybe focused on work, for example. But this is also really about your own mental processes of allowing yourself to move into a place where you're not feeling trapped by negative thoughts, by fear-based thoughts, by thoughts that really pertain to a sense of lack or a sense of scarcity or a sense of victim consciousness and needing to fight for or go after and scrapple for whatever it is you are able to achieve and obtain materially, right? So this is the energy that you're presenting with. And I think Spirit is encouraging you to step from that space, to step into the recognition that you don't want these negative thoughts, these fear-based thoughts or thoughts that are based in lack to be the foundational energies that you're creating from. And to be mindful when those thoughts start to creep in. Be mindful if they're underlying the foundations of your intentions. So the recent past, we have Ace of Air. This is you having a brand new vision, a brand new inspiration, idea. This could be you really seeing the truth to a situation or receiving clarity. And this could also be symbolizing that there was a new beginning that was rather challenging for you to go through, to move through that space. Your current energies, we've got these three cards: Knight of Fire, Renewal, and Queen of Earth. So let's take a look. So the Knight of Fire really is talking about you being in this very passionate space. It can talk about something that is a sudden event that needs your attention, But this could be also you just feeling like now it's time, right? Now time feels like it's of the essence to make some type of passionate change. But this is Spirit advising you to think through quickly, or think through carefully. Think through carefully. And don't forget, we did have this card that is indicating if there is something in your present that you're really ready to strike because the iron feels hot, take a beat potentially and allow yourself to be guided by the universe. Let's see what continues to show up for us, but this is a card indicating things are being woven in your favor. So we've also got this Queen of Earth energy here with you in the present moment. This is you really wielding your own manifesting abilities. The Queen of Earth is tangibly manifesting her abundance, right? And she is doing this from a very kind, understanding approach, a sensible approach. She's making time and including those around her. And she's also dealing with challenges from a very grounded space. This is very grounded, earthy energy. And then we've got renewal. So this is a major arcana card about you taking that pause. This is again a bit of a time of review, of evaluation. You're really getting clear, and I feel like this messenger card is saying more information's on the way to you, because it is time to take action and head and move in a new direction. You are renewing this new aspect of your life, this new version of self. Again, if you are Gemini rising, Jupiter being in your first house is really expanding that for you. So it's time for you to potentially begin to start to move in a new direction, a new expression of yourself. But you're still working on getting all the facts, getting all the details of how do you want this to manifest for you and which direction do you want to go. And I feel like you're really leaving behind, coming from your manifestation from this place of ego, and you're moving into more of this Queen of Earth energy where you're doing it for the abundance for everyone. You're incorporating more of that Aquarian energy where you're thinking about the collectivity, and that is really what's going to be fueling some of your happiness. So coming forward, we are going to have some more time where you really do need to spend additional time healing, um, taking time to forgive yourself and another. This is continuing to move through a period of sadness. So it's not quite over yet. We've got 3 of air and 3 of water. So 3 could be very important. Could also be time indicators, 3 weeks, 3 months of when there's going to be a shift taking place. But you've got this dichotomy, this balance of emotional collaboration, gathering, the need to have fun, the need to celebrate, mixed with continuing to work with others, to heal from a situation, to forgive, to find the new way to rebuild, and to continue to grieve the sadness, the loss, and attend to your own emotions and the emotions of those around you. And perhaps that's why you're really moving into this Queen of Earth energy, because you're really making more time now for those around you, right? And so what's underneath this energy, Gemini? First we have, and these are not in order, these are just the supporting energies. And so we'll move through them. Sometimes they show us a progression, but they fly out as we're pulling the cards. So they're not necessarily in a progressive order. just consider them all the components that are sort of underlying what's going on. So, fueling what all of this work is the Nine of Earth, the desire that you have to enjoy life's luxuries, spending time alone. This is a card of successful self-employment, of entrepreneurship, being your own boss. We've got the Magician. You really ready to manifest and recognizing now that you have all the resources and the ability that you need to really begin to write these new chapters, to create this new, I feel like there's something that is budding for you, Geminis, and it's right on the horizon, and you just can't quite tangibly see it, sense it, feel it, or smell it yet, but it's right there. And so you know you're ready to manifest, but you're just not quite clear yet on what it is you are manifesting. Then we've got another major arcana, and then we've got the Strength card. And this is talking about how this has really pushed you to your capacity. What you have been moving through, Geminis, has really tested your inner strength. You've had to move through some harsh judgments, and that could be towards yourself, you judging your own self, your own actions. You could have experienced this from other people, from your environment, from the circumstance itself, could have just simply felt very harsh energetically. This is again speaking to really needing to focus on moving through the process of forgiveness, of grieving what happened, applying compassion to your own self, to your own journey, to the sadness that's coming up, applying compassion to the sadness that you witness in other people, especially those that are close to you. I'm hearing within your tribe or within your family. Excuse my drink, Geminis. Then we've got the Page of Fire. This is an exciting new endeavor. This is your own creative, confident, outgoing self that is ready to passionately move forward, to take an action step in your life. We've got the Four of Fire, which is a card of balance. It's a card of everything kind of being in this balanced, happy home space. So it really does, symbolize a happy home life that is balanced upon everyone feeling a sense of contentment, a sense of peace, and a sense of abundance. This can also really symbolize the successful completion of a project. It can symbolize to me a very passionate union as well, because we've got the Four Wands, two on each side, sort of symbolizing that soul tie, soul connection, 1111 type of energy. We've got Two of Earth. This is, you've been moving through this space and time where it has probably felt like everything's been happening at once. Too many things are coming at you. There's been a lot of decisions, and you've really needed to take a careful approach. But this is encouraging you now going forward to begin to consider a more playful approach, to really make a decision and go towards whatever is inspiring joy, whatever is inspiring a sense of play, a sense of lightheartedness, tuning into the magic that is present for you. We've got King of Fire energy, which is very charismatic, very motivational and ambitious. And this card in particular, again, really about you needing to focus on your vibration. Focus on the vibration you're seeking to manifest as this magician, right? when we have these two together, these are pretty powerhouse type of cards. So this is you really communicating your vision, stepping up as a leader, but bringing your own vibratory frequency to the table as you manifest, because that is going to be the space from which you manifest from. And so it's sort of like Spirit is saying, which one of these spaces, which one of these energies do you really want to inhabit? Which one of these energies do you really want to capitalize on? Coming from a space of ego or coming from this expansive magician space. And then the last energy that has underlined your story or been hidden or sort of supporting what's been unfolding for you is this sense of conflict, conflict with others around you that you care about. There's been a competition of goals. There's been bothersome details to work out, to sort out. And it's just really weighed again upon you. It's the weight of the world. Whatever you've been moving through has been really heavy, really life changing, and it's really shaken you up into a space where you really do need to get grounded, Gemini. That's why the lake is here. That's why water your garden is here. And that's why so much earth energy is showing up in your chart. It's this need to really ground into those alchemical elements. And then when you are ready from a vibratory perspective, when your vibration is right, then from that space, that's when it's time to take action. That's when you're going to have this deep sense of clarity of knowing the new direction forward, that space from which you really want to create from. I do believe messages are on the way. And right now, you are meant to be getting clear with yourself of what is coming with you, what is going, what you still need to work upon, creating affirmations and support tools for yourself on how you can apply an increased amount of forgiveness, an increased amount of compassion to yourself, and then just giving yourself that permission to release the heaviness of the past. Okay, Gemini, let it go. Let it go like the water and let it just run off. It's the runoff, right? Release all of that old junk that still might be with you from the heaviness of the situation. Give yourself permission to let that completely go. I feel like that could be the most important thing that you do, is set the intention around your continued healing, what you really want to feel for yourself. I'm sure you're ready to experience relief, and a lot of that relief will come to you as you release and let go. And when you do that, you're creating more space. And when there's more space, that means your new manifestations, these new intentions that you're seeding into place, now have a space to find their way into a planted state so that they can manifest themselves into your physical reality. All right, Geminis, I hope that this has supported you, has helped you. Again, I appreciate all of your likes, your comments, your shares, and subscribes. If you would like a personal reading, I am happy to assist. I will drop some links below, but if this is where we leave things, I thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I will see you next time. Take care and happy new moon.